Look at this. Look at it like this. If 50% of the people who lived in London were Scottish, would we be okay to say that it's less English than it was when it was 10%?
We would say it is British.
Okay? Well, no, but answer the question. Would it be okay or not?
Would it be okay? I'm trying to get my head around that.
If 50% of the people who lived in London were Scottish,
yes,
would it be okay to say that London has become less English?
Well, if they were Scottish, yeah.
Right, so what's the difference?
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm back with more Konstantin Kasin, and this is a video of him on Good Morning Britain discussing with the panel a tweet from a British-born celebrity by the name of John Cleese. And the tweet read, "London is not an English city anymore." So we're about to get into this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while we're watching. Now let's roll it.
Objection to it, Shola. When he said London is no longer English, people are reading into that he meant it's not white enough.
The bottom line is this. Referring to UK cities or London as non-English is a key point here. Britishness is not determined by the colour of our skin.
Well, he does go on to clarify. He said, actually, it's not about racism, it's about culturalism. And he said that it's not as polite as it was, humorous, it's not as friendly as it was. Those sorts of things
That
is what he was
such
saying.
Nonsense. This is a man who left the UK because it's full of foreigners and moved to a foreign country. To become an immigrant, please, let's not take him seriously.
What's your view?
Well, that particular point is a bit difficult to defend, I agree. But I think in terms of the racism issue, I don't see how this has anything to do with race. Look at the England football teams full of black players. No one would question their Englishness, right? They're English. It's not about race. What he's talking about, I think, is that, look at London. 42% of people who live in London are, like me, foreign-born, right? So there's a very significant immigrant population in London. Obviously, if you have half of a city, essentially, that are people who are first-generation immigrants, that is going to make it less of the local culture. It's just a fact of life, isn't it?
No, the fact of that is, and you're absolutely right, but the fact of that is...
It's just a fact of life, isn't it?
No, the fact of that is, and you're absolutely right, but the city has changed. That's fine, it's changed. But to say it's become less English is ridiculous. Either it's a stupid comment,
so let me give you an
example.
Well, no, it's not. Well,
it's not just
first of all, it's nothing to do
racist.
with race. But look at this. Look at it like this. If 50% of the people who lived in London were Scottish, would we be okay to say that it's less English than it was when it was 10%?
We would say it is
Would that be
British.
okay? Well, no, but answer the question. Would it be okay or not?
Would it be okay? I'm trying to get my head around that.
If 50% of the people who lived in London were Scottish,
yes,
would it be okay to say that London has become less English?
Well, if they were Scottish, yeah.
Right, so what's the difference?
This is the look of someone who has just completely missed the point. Now, first, the guy said that Konstantin was right, and then he admitted that he was right again by agreeing to his Scottish example. Now, let's continue.
There's no difference. He's talking about...
Do you not consider yourself as English?
No.
Why is that?
Because I'm British. I'm a British.
So when you go to
person.
Scotland, if you go to Scotland, so where have you come from? What do you say?
Well, I'd say I live in London. I'm originally from Russia.
But why can't you say I'm from England?
Because I'm not from England.
But you are.
No, I'm not. I wasn't born here. I didn't grow up here. I came here when I was
When you're in Scotland and you're on the road and there's an arrow pointed towards England, do you not go that direction? Because that's where you're from. England. Why
I'm not
can't you
from
just...
England. I wasn't born here. I didn't grow up here.
But you just said you're from... Are you from London?
No.
But
English.
Let me say exactly what he said.
Yeah.
His second tweet, so he made this first one and then lots and lots and lots of people went against him. And then he said, "I suspect I should apologise for my affection for the Englishness of my upbringing, but in some ways, I found it calmer, more polite, more humorous, less tabloid and less money-oriented than the one that is replacing it." Right. Now, the thing is, if you... I'm not a Londoner, I'm from the North West. But people will say, you know, all the money that has driven up prices in London, that means people can't live in London anymore, even if they want to. It's because there's Russian money here, there's Arab money here, it's the foreign investment in London.
On behalf of all Russians, I'm deeply offended by this. Deeply offended.
No, but what I'm saying is...
He's targeting the immigrants. Even with his explanation, he's targeting people. He's saying that you are not English. All of us have been here way longer before jumping. Of course, he's talking about English people.
But you can make those
people. He's not talking about values. He's not talking about culture. He's talking about people, and that means it's got racist connotations.
He didn't say anything about people.
Bigoted. Of course, he did.
He said that the city has become less English.
The other description,
I just think
it's not as polite. I'm sorry. So immigrants are not polite? What the heck? What's the meaning of that?
I think you could probably say it's about lots of cosmopolitan cities in Britain and across the world. That's the only thing. I don't know why. You know.
So you're making my point for me. Is we have lots of immigrants. So he's not racist, just a very naughty boy.
Constantine's example of Scottish people was a great example to use because Scottish people are Scottish people and English are English. Two different cultures, even though they are both white. And the follow-up example by the man on the panel was a terrible example because if I am an American who, let's just say I live in Britain, for example, and I go to Scotland and somebody asks me where I'm from, I'm going to tell them I'm from America. I live in Britain. I'm from America, though. So I think Constantine is choosing to look at this from a logical standpoint and just a statistical standpoint based on the numbers. And many other people up there on the panel are getting in their feelings and reacting more emotionally off of the tweet. I have the numbers right here, and you could see that the makeup of London is very diverse. It's very diverse. It's the most diverse city. It's the most ethnically different city out of all of these cities here on this list. Out of all the places here on this list, all of these territories. And he also said that 42% of the people in London are like him, foreign born. So meaning they immigrated to London. I'm sure that over time you've seen that number rise. So that means that at a point, London did not look like this. So maybe when John Cleese was growing up, the number might have been at 10% or it might have been at 20%. And he saw some differences then, but now it's at 42%. And that video comes from 4 years ago. So the numbers of today might be even different. So again, facts over feelings, statistics over emotions. Although this video is quite funny, I think it speaks to a larger issue. And that larger issue is that it's hard to have discussions with people because they can't look at things logically and objectively and use critical thinking skills. Everything has to be tied in with some form of race or some emotional argument. If you look at the numbers, what John Cleese was saying actually made sense. And what Constantine Kassin said actually made sense. But yeah, guys, that'll just about wrap this video up. I think a reason why Constantine Kassin has became so popular is because of clips like this where you see him able to keep his cool, listen to what's being said, and use reason instead of going straight to an ad hominem or character attack on an individual based on a tweet. He's able to read between the woke lines of what everyone's saying and just agreeing with what all of the woke people want him to say and use his brain to critically think. And that's why he's becoming so popular. But that's it for the video, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe on your way out the door. Till next time, I'm out of here. Peace.